Hi everyone, welcome to Karis's Tuesday Tips. Today I'm here with Steve Roberts, owner of Steve Roberts Painting. Hi Steve.
Hi Karis.
So I want to say thank you so much for coming out, taking the time. I know you're busy. The weather's so nice and spring's right around the corner.
Yeah.
So I thought this would be the best time to have you come out and share some tips and great information for everyone that's thinking of getting their home on the market or just want some ideas to spruce it up for their own enjoyment this year.
I'd be happy to.
Great. So one of the first questions I have when I meet with clients that are thinking of getting their home ready and they want recommendations, and when I say the word paint, they get very overwhelmed because it can be, oh my gosh, it's going to take so much time, it's going to be a mess, or it's going to be costly. So Steve, what are 3 tips that you can tell people that they can do without having to paint the entire interior of the home, but still get that updated look?
Well, probably the least expensive thing to do is to do an accent wall. Pick a wall or 2 in the house that would look nice in a different color, an accent color, and paint those. Second thing to do would be to do just all the walls throughout the house. When you start doing trim and doors and baseboards and ceilings, the price goes up pretty dramatically. But if you keep it to just walls, it's pretty inexpensive and you get a lot of bang for the buck.
Okay. So when you say accent wall, which I love accent walls, would you do like a bright, bold color, or would you keep it in a palette of their colors that they have already?
I'd keep it in the palette of colors that they have. I don't think I would go too off the charts, but a little bold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they didn't want to paint all the walls, what would you recommend?
I'd find a couple of the walls that were the worst and match the color of the existing walls and paint those walls.
And they'll blend
Blend
nicely.
it in very well.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
those are great tips. I like that. So the second one, can you go over the different types of sheens? There's so many different sheens and where you would use those in the house.
Sure. So the gradient of sheens begins with flat, matte, eggshell, low sheen, satin, semi-gloss,
Oh, wow.
and gloss. So there's quite a few.
There is, yeah.
Okay. There are pluses and minuses of each. Okay. The trade-off with gloss is the shinier the gloss, the more durable and washable the surface is. Okay.
Okay.
So kitchens, bathrooms, doors, things that are going to be handled a lot. Typically, you want more shine. Satin, semi-gloss are kind of the standard.
Okay.
Okay. The bad side is that the more sheen you have, the more texture it shows. So if you have walls that are older that may have had, nail holes patched multiple times and the patching job wasn't perfect, you'll tend to see those a lot more with sheen. Flat paint hides that very well. It's just not washable. You can't really wash flat paint. There are some matte finishes, which are just one sheen up from a flat, that are somewhat washable. And it'll have a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's a little more difficult to touch up.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're getting a home ready to sell, and you're going to paint it with something that's a low sheen, like a matte or an eggshell, okay, and if you have carpet installers go in and they ding the walls, or furniture movers ding the walls, and you have to touch it up, much easier to touch up flat, because if you touch up eggshell, the color will be perfect, but you'll get what's called sheen buildup, and you'll see a shiny spot wherever you touched up.
Oh.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Very interesting. Things I didn't know about the different paint. And what is one tip that you would tell everyone not to do with the paint?
It's a good question. So what I see a lot with homeowner projects, a lot of times they'll patch holes just to get it ready for the painters to make it easier for us. And when they patch the nail hole, they'll take a putty knife with the spackle and they'll just put it right over the hole, and they won't take a wet rag and wipe all that spackle out of the surrounding texture around that nail. And so what happens is when you paint the wall, you end up with these big silver dollar flat
Yeah.
spots that are
I
everywhere.
see a lot of those.
And they're hard to fix.
Oh, they are.
Hard to
Okay.
fix. So better to either not patch the holes yourself, or if you do, patch just the hole and take a damp rag and wipe all the patch out from around it.
Okay.
Second thing I see a lot of is painting latex paint over oil base trim and doors. Okay, the correct way to do it is to scuff sand the surface, prime it, and then put the latex paint on it. If you just paint right over the oil base with latex paint, it'll look great, but as soon as you take your fingernail and just scrape it, it'll peel right off. And the fix is time consuming. You got to completely strip the door, sand it, and start over.
Okay.
So make sure you're not painting over oil base.
These are things that I never knew. So these are great tips. I'm sure a lot of people out there are like, oh, wow, I didn't think of that. So those are great. Thank you. So one of my favorite times of the year is what's the new color trend? Every year we have a new color trend. So what are you seeing a lot of your clients have you paint? What colors are they using?
Well, for the last couple of years, it's been shades of gray. In the 30-something years I've done this, I don't think I've ever had so many requests for one color in all my years in the business. It's been gray. But now it's transitioning to white.
White.
White. Interiors, white on white. So maybe a couple of shades of white or just all white. But white is the
Wow.
trend.
Okay.
That and for an accent color, teal is
Huh,
yeah, teal
really?
is-
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, teal and white. Great accent wall for your fireplace or bedroom wall. Okay, great. So, Steve, what does your company offer any other services besides painting?
We do. We offer power washing, deck and stain fencing, deck and fence staining. There you go.
Okay.
We offer drywall repair and texturing. If you have popcorn ceilings, we can strip those and redo those for you. We do cabinet painting.
Oh, okay.
We do some light carpentry, so if you have an exterior that has dry rot, we can replace dry rot, get it ready for paint.
Okay, well, that's great, because sometimes people want to do, get some paint and maybe do some bigger baseboards, get rid of the old little ones and do the 5 inches or crown molding.
We do crown molding, we do baseboard installation, we do wainscoting.
Oh, nice, okay.
We built mantles.
Wow,
We
so
do.
you're like the one-stop shop.
Well,
All
it
right.
makes it easier on the client. They don't have to go through multiple contractors to get it all
Okay,
done. So.
good. So I forgot to ask you at the beginning, but tell me a little bit about your business. How long have you been in the business and been the owner of your company?
About 32 years now.
Wow, that's
32
great.
years. We're a member of Diamond Certified, which is a fabulous organization to be involved with. And I've got about 10 painters right now. And that's about the size I like to keep it. And when it starts to get too big, I have a hard time staying involved. I like to be involved with each of the jobs every day. So
And that I know you're always there with every job, checking it. So that's very important. So,
it is.
yeah.
It is. Like that. Really, I'm fortunate. I've hunted through a lot of different painters to find the guys that I have, and they're really good painters, and they don't need a lot of supervision. But I just like to be there and watch.
Yeah,
things.
your name's on it, right?
Mhm.
So that's great. Now, what areas do you service?
We service primarily the Tri-Valley area. We'll go up to Sacramento once in a while, not too often. Vacaville, Fairfield, every so often. Once in a while, I'll run out to San Francisco, Oakland, that area.
Or for your favorite agent, and she needs something out of the area, right?
Florida.
Florida. Well, Steve, I really love all these tips, everything you've given us, things that I didn't even really know about painting. I hope everyone really enjoyed this today with Steve and all the information. If you're thinking of getting your home ready to sell, or you just want to do some improvements for yourself and you need a painter, please reach out to Steve Roberts at
925-705-0230.
And any other questions, I'm always here to help with your real estate needs. My number is 925-683-3238. I'm Karis with Intero Real Estate, and thank you again, Steve, for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday for Karis's Tuesday Tips. Take care.